In this video, I'll be explaining why you should be buying US stocks right now. My name is Euan, and on this channel we talk about personal finance and investing in the stock market. So if that tickles your fancy, then please hit that big red button that says subscribe, as I'm aiming for 10k by the end of 2020. Anyway, in this video, I want to talk to you about why you should be buying American stocks, US stocks, right now, and which ones you could consider investing in, and the ones that I'm actually invested in myself. But just remember, I'm just a random dude on the internet in a funny coloured t-shirt, so please do your own research before investing your capital. So you may have noticed that some of your US based stocks in your portfolio have actually gone down, but the stock price is not actually followed, and you might be wondering, pourquoi? That's French for why. I'm learning French. So what is actually happening in the US that is making your US stocks go down, and why are they so cheap? There's a lot going on that is going to affect this, but the short answer is quantitative easing. What this means is that the US Federal Reserve is printing money like my girlfriend prints online shopping return labels. Sorry, rap. Anyway, here's the real definition for you. Quantitative easing is a form of unconventional monetary policy in which a central bank purchases longer-term securities from the open market in order to increase the money supply and encourage lending and investment. Confusing, right? I think I prefer my definition. So the main reason that they are doing this and printing so much money is that they want to get the economy in the US back on its feet and recover after COVID-19. So this is obviously a good thing for the people of America and the businesses in America, but by doing this, this does have an impact around the world and on their economy overall. One of the main things that happens is inflation will increase as there is a larger supply of money. Interest rates also tend to be lower at this point because they are trying to get people to buy things and purchase houses, etc, etc. And the main thing that we need to worry about is that it does actually weaken the currency over there, so the dollar is weakened against all other currencies, including the pound. So if the dollar is weaker, it means that our pounds and pennies go a lot further. So if we were allowed to go over there, which I don't think we are at the moment, then we would be able to go on a big shopping spree and buy those Gucci belts, Yeezy trainers, Jordans for a fraction of the price, purely because the strength of the pound is so good at the moment. And the great news is that this also applies to stocks, and as the US Federal Reserve still pumps out money, the pound will still get stronger. However, this won't last forever. So we are in a bit of a unique position where we can actually get a good deal on some company stocks compared with our American friends. Sorry guys. But it is important to note that you still need to do your own research to find out whether the company you're actually investing in is worthwhile and a good investment. As Warren Buffett always says, it is better to get a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. And that rings true more now than ever. So now we know why you could actually benefit from investing in US stocks at the moment, because they are cheap. But let's have a look at which companies that I've currently invested in and which ones you could potentially invest in yourselves. So I'm currently only invested in Amazon, Apple, Coca-Cola, Walt Disney and Wells Fargo. So I'm only going to be talking about these ones because I don't feel comfortable suggesting stocks that I'm not personally invested in. Got to put your money where your mouth is. You feel me? However, I'm also going to rule out Amazon and Apple because they are at record highs at the moment. Amazon have actually benefited hugely from everyone being at home and the pandemic, and Apple obviously have announced their stock split recently, which has driven their price up into the space. I'm up 60%, which is mad, but I don't think it will stay like that. Once the split happens, it might drop down, so not buying that at the moment. I've said this before and I'll say it again, I think Coca-Cola is still a good buy. According to the Motley Fool, even with their earnings falling and the potential less spend of people during the recession, you can still reap the rewards and the benefits of owning Coca-Cola stock over a long period and a long horizon. And I think that sounds very familiar to what I sort of preach on this channel. So I'll be continuing investing in them for a long period of time until something else changes. And the next one is Walt Disney. So although they've opened their parks, they are not currently back to full throttle, and they're still lacking behind in terms of their movies and their parks and their cruises as well. So this is not ideal. Their only saving grace currently is their Disney X platform, which has grown significantly due to COVID because everyone's been at home watching movies. So Fair enough. Although it hasn't reached the heights of Netflix, it is well on its way. It has a reduced menu and stuff like that. However, they will be adding a lot more and doing their own Disney specials, so what's not to love? I'm not as confident in Walt Disney as I am with Coca-Cola because there's a lot up in the air at the moment, but I think that they can pull through and they'll do a good job when they reopen again. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I think you could potentially use this time to get a good deal on the Walt Disney stock. And finally, Wells Fargo, which is probably the riskiest one on the list. Wells Fargo is my worst performer, and the strong pound making the stock price slightly cheaper, for us anyway, is not going to help it either. And Warren Buffett sold 85.6 million shares in the last week. So what have I done? Wells Fargo are heavily reliant on mortgages, so as the unemployment rate rises, then this is likely to have an enormous impact on Wells Fargo, so it might get a lot worse before it gets better. However, I'm fairly optimistic because they did come through the 2008 financial crisis, which is difficult for a bank to do, especially when they're heavily reliant on mortgages, and the crash was to do with mortgages. So how they managed to do that, I don't know. If you are a glass half full person like me, then maybe it is a good opportunity to get a good deal. However, me personally, I'm not going to be selling, but I'm not going to be buying a huge amount. I'm just going to be pound cost averaging into my portfolio as normal and hopefully close that red gap. To summarize, if you wanted to get the advantage of investing while the pound is strong, then you could actually invest in a VUSA ETF, which is one of my favorite ETFs that tracks the S&P 500. So if you wanted to do that, then you could protect yourself against investing in individual stocks. And it will probably have the same impact, but it will be slightly less because obviously you're investing in 500 instead of just one company. And depending on which company it is, the dollar will affect that company differently. So that's something to consider. I'm not sure how long this strong pound will last because we haven't actually seen a stronger pound than a dollar in over 20 years. So it is unlikely to last very long. So if you do want to get a deal, then maybe it is time to do it, especially as there's a lot of uncertainty at the moment. We don't know what's going to happen in the next few months, if it's going to be a vaccine, etc., etc. So you never know. And that is why you should be buying US stocks right now, because in the future, the opportunity may be gone. So that's it from me. I hope you've got some good value out of this and that all made sense. And if it did, please let me know in the comments. Like this video and subscribe to my channel because I'm trying to hit 10k by the end of 2020. And if you saw my 1k dance, then you know 10k is going to be lit. Gonna be lit. Travis Scott. Gonna be lit. Anyway, that's it from me. I'm not a millionaire, but I'm trying to help you become one. So, peace. Pourquoi? 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 To about weird. Anyway, hit the subscribe button. That is not good. I think I prefer. My name is Euan. US stocks, cheap US stocks, right? Amazon have actually benefited. 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 Amazon have actually benefited.